loose again. Edwards off the running. Let's get back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Riley Williams. Goes for the free. Touchdown.
All right, folks, welcome into another episode of the Gridiron Uncensored podcast. We're glad to have you with us tonight. Clearly chaos on the college football front. We're going to talk about that and some more things. Obviously, Penn State finally hired a coach. We're going to talk about the conference championship games and the chaos there, and then teams opting out of bowls, whatever the hell that is. Guys, it's going to be, I'm sure, a lively debate tonight. I'm waiting to see what goes on in the comments section. That's what I'm the most ready for. Boys, how you doing? What are your initial thoughts on Penn State? We'll just get right into it.
It was just a last gasp hire, I think. I mean, Matt, he hadn't been doing so hot himself anyways. He's the coach, he's a hot commodity a few years ago. Everybody wanted him, and then a couple bad seasons, and the name hadn't really been what it used to be. So,
yeah,
I think it was just like gotta have somebody now. So they went with him.
Trev, what are your thoughts on Soup Campbell, baby? Soup.
Breaking news. It's a snooze fest.
No
Breaking
love,
freaking
man.
news. There is no love for me. He did fine for Iowa State. I guess if Penn State just wants to be Iowa State, that's great. Congratulations. You fucked this up in every way you possibly could. So this is just you grasping, like Blake said, at straws. And he's the only one that really said yes. He's the only girl that said yes to the prom question. Yeah. And no one else wants your fugly ass to be a part of your fugly motherfucking group of people. So
Trev's is on it tonight.
I'm serious. I have such disdain for that whole administration. They ruined what could have possibly have been a great potential hire by simply just sitting on their hands and waiting and keep on waiting. As soon as the season ended and people knew where everyone was going to be, even the conference champion, they can start talking to these coaches as soon as the last game of the season's over. Honestly, Penn State should have had a short list, and should have already at least sent a fucking email to let them know their interests. Good God. Slide into their DMs for crying out loud.
I just wonder if there was no interest there. I wonder if they had a short list originally, and not every team is as transparent as others. Right. LSU was very clear, Florida was very clear who they were going after, and Penn State just never really spoke up about anything. I venture to say they had coaches they were interested in. I bet it wasn't reciprocated, so they just kept quiet.
No, from what I understand, he was like the 12th coach on their list.
Yeah.
But everybody else said stop talking. They don't. There's nobody wants to deal with an administration that you got them to the cusp of potentially playing for a natty the previous year. You're having a bump in the road, and all of a sudden, deuces.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's some NFL crap that doesn't belong in college football. That's some knee-jerk reaction stuff that, first of all, the student athletes don't deserve, and they certainly. These coaches, I mean, they don't deserve it either, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Franklin certainly didn't. I don't like the bald-headed freak, but as far as him deserving it, I don't think he deserved it.
Look, I've been very clear how I feel about James Franklin in the Big Ten. We all have. He's a good coach. He'll get you that 10, 11 wins. He did finally get them to the playoffs. But this year it was a natty or bust with everything they brought back, all the NIL they put forward to keeping those in the same mold that Ohio State did, the same mold that Michigan did the year prior of bringing guys, keeping them in, bringing key pieces. They beefed up the wide receiver room, all these things. And then this happens. I understand why he got fired. I do. It makes sense. But you have to have somebody ready to go. I feel like is going to be an upgrade. And to me, Matt Campbell, I think he's a fine coach. I think he's good at culture. I think he's a program type builder. I just don't think he's going to be the type that'll get you over the hump again. I think it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
Now
I just think Penn State needs to stop comparing themselves to Ohio State and Michigan because they're not. They never will be.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they never will be. They just don't have the alumni base to do that. Like, they have a great alumni base, and honestly, they have plenty of NIL money.
Yeah.
The problem is no one wants to play at State College.
I don't know. I mean, they get. I mean, Franklin was getting them damn good recruiting classes.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, just getting four stars ain't going to cut it.
Yeah,
you
got to, man.
Commodities, and what they were doing, they were having good recruiting classes that were good building blocks and down the road stuff. And here they went into a season, and it just proves that every season is a different season, even if you have the same roster.
Well, I think it for them the big problem was you're not going to win a national title with Aller at quarterback. You have to have an elite quarterback, and he's not that.
Well, they certainly thought he was.
Yeah, that's for sure. But Matt Campbell, I think it's a fine hire. I don't especially for the place that they are, but I don't think it's an upgrade at all.
It's average. It's average, I mean, probably at best as a hire, but hey, we'll see. I mean, they went with average when they hired Franklin, to be honest. So, I mean, it seemed to work for him before. So maybe like, hey, we'll get a guy that no one else is talking about and see what happens.
Yeah. Comments are already going off really nicely. Maybe some drunk guys on the phone. I don't know what's going on over there. I sound like a Yank again. I guess I mean, I do live in Texas. But I guess
Shane's on it tonight. Apparently we're all ugly mugs up here.
Hey, we'll drink to that. But either way, they're doing their thing. Iowa State's already hired a new coach from fucking Washington State, and then I mean they hired him immediately after the news broke that Campbell was leaving. But then we'll talk about them here in a little bit about opting out of bowls. Guys, let's get into the conference championship games and this weekend. Clearly, some chaos erupted. We were kind of maybe hoping for a little bit more. But I mean, it started off Friday night. Tulane goes out and finishes, works up their business. James Madison handles their self against Troy. Kennesaw State was really, I think, a cool story. Jerry Max really got that program rolling. For their second year in the FBS, coming up from the FCS ranks, and then Boise State taking down UNLV, winning the Mountain West championship. But the real stories were on Saturday, guys. Ohio State goes down to Indiana. Georgia blows out Alabama. Texas Tech blows out BYU. And then Duke completing the chaos. I want to hear what you guys think. Give me Indiana, Ohio State. It doesn't matter. What was the craziest moment of the weekend for you?
Me personally, the Duke and Virginia. I mean, I didn't expect Duke to win that game at all. And when Virginia goes down and scores at the end, I'm like, well, there it goes. And then they pick off that pass in overtime and just sealed it. I thought Virginia was going to run right through them.
I did too. I thought they'd lean on that run game more and really be able to work it. But Mensa's a hell of a quarterback. Trev, what do you think?
Well, I was the most disappointed in BYU.
Yeah.
That kid, I mean, I don't care what anyone says, that no one's going to tell me that they played their best football. I mean, we saw some really good games played by that team, but I really think that 47 with the ridiculous number, Bachmeier, just crumbled under the pressure. Honestly, He looked like a deer in headlights. At one point in time, Texas Tech stopped rushing their linebackers and just had them all go to a spy on Bachmeier and follow him around and make sure that he can't run past the line of scrimmage. And it's just, he didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, it was, I mean, the BYU loss really sucked for them. It was close early, and then, Texas Tech defense just like you said, put the clamps down on them. But the craziest, I mean, that Duke game at the end, I looked and I think it was like 2 minutes left. And I was like, oh, this one's over. It's done. I flipped the channel to see what was going on elsewhere. And then I come back and everybody's like, oh, shit, they're going to overtime. And then the flea flicker to end it. Just brutal for Virginia, but that opened the door for JMU to get into the playoffs. And that's your chaos. Georgia going out, and really I was surprised at how big of a beatdown this was. I figured the Ohio State Indiana game was going to be tight. We picked Indiana to win. Trevor and I did, but I thought maybe a little bit more points scored there. But the Georgia win, especially after Stockton, he had kind of a rough game against Georgia Tech. You're like, how do you rebound from that? Blake, I want to hear your thoughts on the Bama game. I mean, what the hell happened?
Well, for one, it all started with the blocked punt. And, I mean, the defense played a fairly good game, I thought. Yeah. I mean, all of their points, they started their drives across midfield. I mean, you have the deflected pass picked off, the blocked punt, put them right on like the 10, 12-yard line. It's very hard to beat good teams when you give them short fields. I mean, that was the same. It was just Oklahoma all over again. Then banged up front. I think we had 9 players injured in that game. It's just, which our offensive line, we started a different front almost every single game. I don't think we've played the same starting 5 up front all season, week to week. We've struggled there all year. Running the ball has been a struggle all year. And I expected to lose, but I didn't expect to lose in that fashion. Ty's passing was just god-awful.
Yeah, I was shocked at that.
I mean, the wide open plays and just cannot hit the passes. It was awful.
I don't blame the performance of the offense on Ty Simpson at all. I blame it 1,000%. 1,000% on that offensive line inability to pick up a blitz.
Yeah, I mean,
their inability to pick up a blitz put Ty Simpson on tilt from the get-go, and he was literally bailing on the plays a half a second sooner than he should have been.
Yeah. Well, once you get that in your mind, the O-line
it was already over. It was already over. First quarter, they were in his head after the first quarter.
Yeah. And against Georgia, you can't have that. But, I mean, do you think Ty is the guy moving forward? There was Heisman talk earlier. There's times that he steps up and he looks damn good. And then this almost felt like the Florida State game early on where the O-line was having struggles, passing was off. And
there are moments where he looks good, but there were also times in this game where he did have a clean pocket and he did have the ability to stand there and make a good throw, and he couldn't do it. Yeah. I mean, he missed several reads on that final drive there at the end. That pass, for the first down on 4th down. I mean, you have to make that. I mean, we had 3 steps on the defender, and you throw it 12 yards over his head.
Yep.
Yeah,
those are the kind of throws you have to make.
I would agree with that, but at the same time, I want to say that first-year starter.
Yeah,
first-year starter.
Yeah.
It's fair, but I mean, he's been in the program a while. I feel the same way
about
our
program is being in the program is totally different than playing in a championship game.
It is
and putting it all on your shoulders. I feel like that's a totally different scenario than watching from the sidelines throwing hand signals to the quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. What do you think about this right here about DeBoer? I
don't take anything that a Tennessee fan says seriously, honestly, because to me it's like
I was going to ask you guys offline, like who this guy is that's talking all this mad stuff about Bama. It's Tennessee fans.
He's a Tennessee fan. He's an RTC with us back.
It's like talking to a house pet or something like that. You say something, they wag their tail, and they just kind of follow you around and bark and get on your nerves. That's what Tennessee fans are to me. So I just ignore it.
I know there's been questions about DeBoer. Like, I know Bama faithful are not used to this right now, and they're angry. And DeBoer's won everywhere he's been.
Yeah,
and he's
people just got to give him time.
He's doing it good. He has a good recruiting class coming in. Let's see what he does in the portal. And frankly, I wouldn't be freaking out too much. You guys were in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
You guys still are in the playoff, right?
Yeah.
I'm still remembering that, right? Yeah. Okay. So just checking the pulse of the fan base here.
Yeah. I like DeBoer. Alabama fans, they just have an expectation, and Saban's not coming back. There is, and there will never be another Nick Saban in college football. It's not
that type of coaching in general is dead.
Yeah, it's gone. So people have got to readjust what their expectations are. The board's killing it in recruiting with Alabama.
Yeah.
And, wins, whether they're ugly or not, he's winning. He is winning games. And if, like, people say, how bad the offensive line is, how bad the quarterback is, how bad the running game is, and we're still winning games.
Absolutely.
I mean, he has balls. He goes for it on fourth down all the time. We convert.
That's true.
I mean, that's what you do. That's how you win games. And he does that.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I agree.
Give him time. Let him do his thing, and we'll see where it goes. You keep
and as far as and as far as Indiana, just sell the whole university to Signetti, so he stays.
Yeah,
just make sure he gets a profit of everything that university does, because
they
if he
owe
ever
him
leaves,
so much.
You guys, if he wins a natty, he's going to own the state of Indiana.
Oh yeah,
literally.
Give that man the keys to the goddamn governor's office. And let's talk about the Indiana game real quick before we get into the debate on whatever happened the rest of today in Selection Sunday. Indiana, they came out. Passing was kind of ugly early. Ohio State did score that touchdown. The field goal, for Indiana kind of kept them in it. But then really that second half, their defense shut down Ohio State. And Ohio State fans are sitting there online. They're complaining. They're wondering, like, why did we change our game plan? What happened? What's going on? I don't think it has much to do with the game plan. You guys are still throwing, 30 passes. You're running. I think you just finally went up against a team that has a competent offense that makes you question your decisions. When you played Michigan offensively, they're not there yet. Same with Washington. They're a little bit out with Damon Williams. Illinois was a decent, offensive team with veterans that you played, but it's just not the same.
With no consistency. Like,
right.
There is no offense that is as consistent as Indiana.
Yeah. So when sorry, Trav. It's just this is the first team that you're seeing this, and now you're struggling. Now you're hitting those moments where you're under pressure and you have to step up to the moment. And Sayin hasn't been in that all year. He's a first-time starter. You saw it on the 4th and 1 when he tried to do the dive and he fucking kneed it. That was such a wonky looking quarterback dive. Like, these are the things that you have to be tested through the season. And Ohio State just wasn't there until, they hit Indiana. And look him up. Look up Signetti. Google him. What's he do? He just wins.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm solely with you on that. I think Indiana, Mendoza won the Heisman last night, hands down.
Do you think that's a fact? I feel like it is.
I think so. I think he's locked it up. He locked it up with the throws he was making late in that game to seal the game, to not give Ohio State a shot or time. Is probably that last drive was probably the single best drive I've seen all year, as far as trying to close out a game with your ability to be the number 1 seed in the playoff and a first round bye. On top of that, you're winning the Big Ten title. And, by the way, you're one of the top candidates for a Heisman.
Yeah.
All going on. And I just think that was super clutch.
You look for moments. I know the whole body of work matters, but when people are watching these games, they want to see a moment, something that stands out as, oh shit, this guy, he's good. Blake, did you think Mendoza had that?
He did have that, but his post game, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him the
his
Heisman.
Post game was no
based off of that interview. And I said that in our chat last night.
The chat was lively last night after Mendoza.
I had just texted Brendan and I was like, he just won the Heisman. And then I saw that interview and I'm like, no, he doesn't have the character for that trophy. Like that, you can't do that interview. No,
I don't know if that was an interview or a monologue, but either way, it was terrible.
But no, he shouldn't even be in New York after that.
Yeah,
I'm voting Jeremiah Love.
We appreciate you.
I vote the linebacker for Heisman.
Yeah, Rodriguez, get his ass in there. Good Lord. No, that was something else. He's obviously excited. I do appreciate him giving thanks to God. But yeah, buddy, let's get off the crack. Maybe he got some of that from
too much Adderall before the game, homie.
What's his nuts at fucking Oregon? The coach Dan Lanning. Yeah, I think they shared some Colombian Bam Bam. It must have been on one of those boats that slipped through the missile attacks we're doing. But no, Indiana, props to you, man. First Big Ten title outright since I think 47, first one since the 60s, a shared one. So incredible moment there. But again, the chaos happened. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Yeah.
It came down to Bama, Notre Dame, Miami. We knew that BYU getting blown out was going to have them drop some. And then really it was the back end was the last part was a question. Where is JMU going to fall? Is Duke going to jump them? So there's the 2 points of contention. Where's Duke in the ACC? And then what happens in that box from 9 to 11? Do you think they made the right decision? I know, Blake, you feel good about it, even though Bama got blown out. You think their body of work was enough in the regular season?
I do. And my reasoning behind that is total resume, the good, bad, and ugly. Bama had a lot of good. We did beat Georgia on the road at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And we were the only college football team out of every team that had every measurable metric on our strength of schedule, FPI, strength of record. Every one of those were in the top 10, and we're the only college football team that had that.
That's true.
Ugly wins, yes. Bad loss to Florida State, yes. But to me, how I looked at it, I looked at the regular season, Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami. Notre Dame had opportunities to win big games, and they lost both of their biggest games. So to me, and even though they improved throughout the season, that would to be expected, in my opinion, when you're playing Syracuse, Stanford, whatever. Miami, they had the 2 unranked losses to Louisville and SMU.
Yeah.
Bama had the ugly loss to Florida State. Yeah. But there are other losses to another top 10 team. And then the committee stated they take into account, injuries during the championship games. And I think they saw that Alabama had been players listed as injured.
Yeah.
And I think they took that into account. And I think that was something else that played a big part of us getting the nod. But I think, too, Miami having that head-to-head over Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame not being in a conference is what ultimately did not have Notre Dame in the playoff. I believe if Notre Dame was in a conference and they finished up at the top of the conference, you would have seen Miami and Notre Dame both in and Bama out. I don't think BYU was ever considered because they played Texas Tech twice and went 0-2 against them. And that was the toughest part of their schedule, and they lost both times. So I don't think they was ever a consideration by the committee unless they had won that game. Had they won, Bama, I don't think is in. I think if BYU wins, BYU's in. Texas Tech is still in. Bama's out. Miami already got in. So when you compare the 3, just to me, you have to take Bama over Notre Dame.
Trev, what do you think on it? I mean, I'll give you my feelings here in a little bit. Trev, I want to hear you.
Oh, okay, fine. So, I mean, if you're a Notre Dame fan, I mean, I don't know what to tell you other than they're shit out of luck. Like, I mean, real talk, you're not in a conference and you're fucking too scared to be a part of a conference. You want to play conference games, but you don't want to be entitled to the conference championship, which is stupid. So you're the smartest dumb people on the planet. So there we go. That covers Notre Dame in a nutshell for me because I really don't want to spend any more time talking about them. BYU, I think they're still rated too high. I don't even think they should be in the final ranking. I don't think they should be in the top 12 ranking at all. Man. They shouldn't even be sniffing it because, like Blake alluded to, you played the top team in the conference twice, and essentially they beat the living crap out of you.
Yeah.
Both times dominated you, essentially. So I think they're out. I think Texas actually has a better argument to be in the conversation of taking a step closer to that thing. Because one, I feel like all of their losses were to top tier opponents.
For Texas?
I mean, yes.
I mean, they lost to Florida. They're pretty shitty.
Okay, so that's an even split with Alabama.
Yeah,
they played the number one team in the country at the very beginning of the season, which did not
hard.
Which did not get taken into account. I am a firm believer they did not get that taken into the account at all. And they did it in a way. They did the away. So apparently, from what I've been told, what I've read, and everything's been put out, they were explicitly told if they scheduled hard non-conference that it would be beneficial to them later on down the road. It's not.
Yeah.
It actually hurt them in the long run. So my feeling is Texas should be in, Alabama should be out, in my opinion. But I'm of the minority in that thought process. I think Vanderbilt had a very big argument to be in. Their 2 losses, while being not very good losses, were both on the away side. They did not lose a game at home. Bama lost a game at home. Basically every SEC team other than every SEC team had a loss at home except for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt was one of the, as far as the top of the SEC. So that's kind of where I sit with it. I think they still got it for the most part right, because I don't think there's a good avenue to put Texas in and Alabama out without sheer pandemonium happening.
Yeah, it would have been a shit show.
Like an absolute shit show, and people just, somebody's going to cry about something. I'm just glad they didn't put Notre Dame in, because at the end of the day, I think that would be a travesty to see someone else miss out, because Notre Dame got in because they just got to sit there with not being in a conference, not playing a meaningful conference schedule. They have a good, don't get me wrong, they play a decently hard schedule non-conference.
Yeah.
But they don't play a tough ACC conference schedule, in my opinion. I mean, that's kind of a silly statement that there's a tough schedule in the ACC, but
well, it's the conference has been down. The ACC, it certainly has, and Virginia Tech being down, Clemson being down, none of that helps. Florida State being what they've been,
right?
So when those teams figure it out, I think the ACC is going to elevate.
I think Virginia Tech will have a more respectful. Yeah, Virginia Tech will be in it next year.
But when I look at this, and the way I see it with these games, the conference championship games, it's for seeding, right? This is your last chance to improve your seeding. And if you play and you lose a tight game, I don't mind you not dropping it all. You are playing an extra game. And it's an extra data point really for you to bump up. But to me, when you get blown out, like that shows you've got flaws. We've already seen it with Bama already getting blown out by Florida State. We've seen them lose. They can't run the ball well. So that's where I was like, okay, this team deserves to drop. Like we've seen enough. Like they have some good wins, yes, but we've also seen the bad side of them. You can't run. Simpson struggles. The O-line's struggling to block. The defense is solid, but there's still these things I'm like, okay, these other guys that are sitting out here, Notre Dame has looked like a good football. Their only 2 losses were by like 2 points combined, 3 points, to a really good SEC team in Texas A&M, and then to Miami. And then also those were the first 2 weeks. So that's kind of where I was like, okay, this team's got blown out. BYU they're gone. They just got their ass waxed again. But then, for Bama, I felt the same way. But we mentioned it, on
So
Twitter.
You think Notre
Facebook.
Dame should be in?
I would have them in, yes, over Bama. I would have Miami and Notre Dame.
Over Vandy that played
Vandy
a full
no
conference.
They have 0 good wins.
They have 10 wins. They have the same amount of wins.
Yeah, they have no wins over anybody that matters. Tennessee, trash. Sorry, they are. Who else do they play? Missouri's not good. They're okay. They lost their starting quarterback. To be
perfectly honest, I could say the same thing about anybody in the Big 12. They have 0 good wins in the Big 12.
I disagree. I think the Big 12 is a good conference. They just beat each other up. I mean, the SEC is the same way. But when you look at top teams, I mean, Notre Dame still has a win against USC. That's a good win. So there's these, these factors that I was like, they're sitting right there. BYU's gone. Vandy's got nothing impressive. So that's where I'm like, okay, let's put in these guys that are right here, ready to go.
That's right, Barbara. Boo. Boo is right.
Hey, that's just kind of where I stand on it is, especially now if Bama had lost by a field goal or 10 points even, okay, leave them in. They've shown, hey, it is what it is. I know you've been waiting to say that. Yes, you were. Did you see what Vanderbilt did to you, Shane? Did you see what? No, you're trash. Listen, I don't want to hear anything from Tennessee right now. To me, I would have put them in. But like we said online, all these bubble teams, the only people that have to blame is themselves.
Yes.
So I'm not going to lose sleep over this like I would for like when Florida State got, to me, wrongly put out of the playoffs in 23. Or TCU in 2014, or Utah that was undefeated during the BCS and never got a chance to play.
Utah has an argument, in my opinion, then if we're going to,
absolutely.
Honestly. I thought they kind of got left out of the conversation altogether.
As far as the rankings,
to
me, I think the reason they didn't move them around was because I don't know if y'all noticed, but every first round playoff game is a rematch. Yeah, Alabama has already played Oklahoma. Ole Miss has already played Tulane. I agree. I think that they did that for ratings because in reality, it really doesn't matter as long as you're in because that back half they don't get a home game anyways. Yeah, it's just your path is different. So I don't really put too much into wondering why they didn't drop a team from 9 to 10 or to 11 or whatever. Because I think to them it doesn't really matter. Because for that back half, because they weren't playing for a home game, they were just playing for a spot.
Yeah, I wish there was some continuity, like some basic understanding of what the hell this committee is doing. Because even like I thought Georgia should be number 2. Why is the SEC champion not in? I know it's an extra game, but then again, you still punish BYU. Bama doesn't move. Ohio State doesn't move, but only BYU moves. That doesn't make sense. There's got to be some sort of consistency here. Georgia should have been up to number 2. Ohio State 3 or 4 moved. Texas Tech just won a fucking Power 4 conference championship, and they didn't move at all. So that's kind of I'm like, just where's the consistency?
And
that's
also,
what I want to see.
My thing is with the way it's all kind of laid out. I'm going to say it right now, guys. Oregon's in the Natty. If you look at their path. It's the easiest path, hands down.
I do agree they have the easiest track, but no matter who is in the national championship, it's going to be a tough opponent, I think.
Yeah, and listen, I'll say I don't mind number 5 having a consolation, prize if you will, in either James Madison. Even James Madison might go off and win. Who knows? But Oregon, the 5th team, they're the first one out of that bye. I don't mind them having the 12th seed. Or even the 6th seed having Tulane. Like it would have been an ACC champion if they figured out their tiebreakers and all this other shit. I blame all this on conference realignment. The conferences are way too big and there's no divisions. Yep. But either way, no, Oregon does have a nice path, though. I think Texas Tech is a strong team. Oklahoma, Bama is going to be a hell of a rematch in Norman. Indiana, has a tough one after that. And then, Georgia going to probably end up playing Ole Miss unless Tulane can figure it out. They got, like you mentioned, they're rematches. It's hard to beat the same team twice. And then Ohio State has to play Texas A&M or Miami. So looking at, I don't mind the bracket. I do. There's just some things with consistency. I really wish they would figure it out. And
that's just the problem.
Another hypothetical SEC win. It's crazy. The SEC is undefeated in hypotheticals. I've never seen them beat a team that they haven't played. It's remarkable. Sorry, Blake, what were you saying?
I don't remember, honestly. When Tennessee fans talk, my mind just goes blank because I just find it incredible that people like that exist. It just blows my mind.
Oh my gosh.
And Shane, I understand what you're saying about Bama, but I don't even know why you're putting Michigan in your mouth. I really don't, because we're not even talking about Michigan right now. I happen to be wearing a hoodie, but who cares about Michigan right now? I certainly don't.
Tennessee fans are still salty that Chuck Woodson won the Natty over what's his name? I can't even remember who he was. Peyton, of course it's Peyton Manning, but regardless, they're just salty cats. But when I look at it, yes, I do like Oregon's path. Outside that, they're fun matchups. Bama, Oklahoma was a fun game during the regular season. Texas A&M, Miami, again, that came down to the last minute. it might be the same way. CJ Carr not CJ Carr. Miami did not play Texas A&M. I'm thinking about Notre Dame again. But either way, fun matchups across the board. Guys, anything else on this battle? I guess on the back end, we were talking about Duke maybe getting in. I just don't. You had 5 losses. You lost to UConn. Yeah. You lost to who else? They lost to another group of 5 team. It just you don't deserve it. You've lost 5 fucking games. I don't want to hear it from Duke. So any disagreement there on James Madison sliding in as the other conference champ?
They're gonna get blown out.
Yeah. I mean, give them the chance, but I don't think they've got a chance at all.
Yeah. I'll just say this for the group of 5. I know everybody's expecting them to get blown out, but we also saw Tennessee get blown out in the playoffs last year as a Power 4 team. So
yes, we did.
Just crazy work that everybody's so mad about the group of 5 maybe getting blown out when you're seeing blowouts still in the Power 5 ranks or Power 4. Mm-hmm. So regardless, let's move on. Talk a little bit about teams opting out, guys. This one really fucking blows my mind. First, it was Iowa State, and I was like, okay, they're losing their coach. It's one team, or it was Kansas State first. They're losing their coach, whatever. And then Iowa State comes out and says the same thing. And then today, Notre Dame is putting their pouty little foot down. Oh man, we didn't make it in, so we're gonna opt out of the freaking bowl game. I would think they were gonna play BYU in a good bowl. What do you guys think about it? I think it's ridiculous.
I hate a bunch of bitches. I hate it, but this is just with the playoff, especially once it expands in 5 years and then expands again in 10 to 24 teams.
Yeah.
There will be no bowl games because in reality, Notre Dame does not care about playing against BYU. I mean, it was playoff or bust, and that's how most of these top tier upper echelon teams are going to look at this going forward. If they're not in it for the national championship, they don't care. They don't want an Outback Bowl trophy. They don't care about playing in the Poinsettia Bowl or the Holiday Bowl. It just doesn't matter, really. It may matter, like Trevor said, to some of the smaller teams, but Power 4 schools, they don't care. And I think you're going to start seeing more of this.
Yeah, and this one. KSU became bitches first. You're right.
Kansas would never back out.
Kansas would never do this.
Kansas would never. Rock chalk, baby, rock chalk.
Jeez, will the slurping ever end? I don't think so.
I love it. I love it. Oh God.
What are your takes on this, man?
Look, like we talked before the show about it, and obviously a lot of the schools that are not in the top basically 10 in the country, basically the top 10 guys that are in the recruiting class or recruiting top 10, generally speaking, they're not going to risk anything like that because 99% of the time, half their offense or half their defense is probably not playing in the bowl anyway to go to the draft or get prepared to transfer out to a different freaking program.
Yeah.
Either way, they're not going to risk injury for one more game. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But as far as any team that opts out, I just think you're a bunch of bitches. So you're opting out, and you're like, say for example, their excuse is, well, we're going to have a lot of guys that opt out of the playing anyway. I was like, okay, well, guess what? Play your fucking freshmen, you moron. Get them some playing time in a major freaking game.
You're missing what the hell's the problem? 15 practices.
This is unheard of. This is like ridiculous to me. I don't care if a few players sit out. I'll still call them bitches, but I certainly am pissed. I'm way more pissed off that an entire team is and they're just solidifying that they're not going to develop these kids and teach them how to fucking actually play in a game. Like, whatever, dude.
I think if it's a generational thing as well. Hold on. Well, bye.
Adios.
Hasta luego, I don't remember asking you to come, but whatever.
I did.
He was forced.
I'm sorry. We were forced to come.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
Oh my God. But no, listen, when I think of Jake Butt, and really when everybody started opting out, I think it was like the 2015, 2016 season. Michigan played Florida State. We ended up losing that game in a tight one in the Orange Bowl. But Jake Butt got injured early, and he was a Mackey award-winning tight end. Fantastic NFL draft, everything. He blew out his knee. He said he does not regret playing that game.
No,
he would do it every day for his teammates because it matters to them. And it's just part of this generation of everybody's out for themselves. Nobody gives a shit about their team. I felt the same way about Florida State when they quit after getting snubbed in 23. They quit. They go 2-10 next year. Maybe that's karma. Maybe
Never
Notre Dame.
recovered.
Maybe that happens to you next year. I kind of hope it does. You're this close to getting in the playoffs. The only reason you're out is your own goddamn.
You get an opportunity to go beat the living crap out of a BYU team that was supposed to be ahead of you. That they were planning on putting ahead of you.
See, this is where I respect SEC teams like Bama and Georgia. Georgia went out and they felt like they got snubbed in the 23. And guess what? They went out and they beat the shit out of Florida State because they were pussies about it and they quit. Look at Bama last year.
They did not put their foot off the gas pedal at all.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to bring up, because my Bama boy is here, but look, Bama last year, they felt they were snubbed from the playoffs. They went in with a fully loaded team to their bowl game. They didn't give a shit. They still played. These guys are trying to prove something because they're competitors.
Yes.
What are you saying to yourselves and your team and these young men that are on your squad? What about the freshmen and the young guys that need these extra 15 practices? So respectfully, no, not respectfully. Go fuck yourself. You need to go play a goddamn football game. We only get
there's no respect given to people that are bitches.
That's right. I just that shit really pisses me off. Go play. It's a goddamn football game. If you told me right now, hey Brendan, we're playing a game for the United States of America, and you've been selected, oh, my ass is out right now. I don't care. I haven't ran in 10 months. My ass is still getting out there. I'd play for hours.
I put on a few pounds. I can go be a D lineman or offensive lineman, no problem.
I have no sympathy for people that
I'll be dead.
And that's just where I'm at on it.
Yep.
So
It's a quitter mentality. And look, if your team isn't built with people that want to compete at an elite level 100% of the time, they shouldn't be on your team. Especially if we're talking about programs like Michigan, Bama, Ohio State, Georgia. These teams are known to have people that just want to compete at the highest level possible. So if you're telling me that the team said, yeah, we're good with that, I would venture to say that even if you transferred out of Notre Dame right now, I wouldn't want you on my fucking team.
Yeah. Unless they're like, hey, we don't respect the coach. But there's rumor too. I don't know if you guys have seen this, that them stepping out is possibly Freeman taking a job in the NFL. There's a lot of rumors that he might be taking one with the Giants.
That'd be hilarious too.
I don't know. I have no idea, but
I think that would be a big mistake. I think he's going to turn into the Nick Saban of that whole scenario, where he thinks that the NFL is the answer, and he's just too good at college, and he's going to have to come back to college and find a different job.
There's only so many that have been able to go to the pros and actually do good in the pros, and then do good in both. You see it. I think of Cliff Kingsbury, he was doing back. So good in college.
He needs to come back,
and then he goes off to the league, and I know they win some games here and there, but he's not this ultra, killer at the pros. Sometimes you were just a college football coach, and that's great. That's a great thing. To me, that's even better than the NFL.
It's such a blessing to be a college football coach. I don't think these guys even understand.
You get to impact young men in a much different way than as an NFL coach does. But I get it's not for some people. Regardless, we're off kilter here. But I don't know. Play your goddamn games. Stop being pansy asses. Let's look at, Trev, our bets and our pickems to close out the year. Fun year. I feel like we kill it on the picks. We pick hard games weekly. And when the end, I got to pull up the numbers here. Tweeted them out earlier. But, it was, these guys, Trevor, Blake, they are picking good teams. They're out here looking to try and get points and get back into the race. And I'm kind of just putting on cruise control here on this last one. But Trevor and I really love that we picked Indiana. I was happy with that one. The totals on the season, I was at 110 and 57. Trevor at 95 and 72 on Pickem, and Blake at 167. Blake won the gridlock battle with 10 and 6 on the outright dogs. To me, that's so fun. That's impressive, man. That's hard to do.
Good job.
It's a talent, and you're just so good. I love looking at you right now. Maybe that might be the Garrison brothers
what
talking.
The hell?
Thank you.
Where'd that come from? That's a
trying to
bromance.
be funny.
It's a bromance moment. Look out!
It slipped. It slipped. But then Trev, bring it up the rear. I had to say it 6 and 10. He had a moment where it was really bad, but he got some wins.
He did.
Oh God!
Look, I mean, like they're even saying it in the comments. Look at this. He's so handsome. Oh my goodness. We have the best fans, folks. You wouldn't believe it. But either way, Trev comes in at 6 and 10 on the gridlocks, and then I was at 8 and 8 on gridlocks. And then our new one that we started, I think it was like 4 weeks ago, the against the spreads, and adding the gridlocks in there on that graphic. We've really enjoyed this. We're going to do it next year for sure. Start of the season. I was 4 and 3 on the year. Trevor 4 and 3, and then Blake came in at 2 and 5 on the against the spreads. At the end of the season here. So again, look for that moving forward as we go along, guys. Anything on these Pickems on the spread stuff or anything just to start closing her down for the night?
No.
Really, honestly, it's been a fun year. I'm really excited for the playoff. And the live shows, and frankly, I appreciate everybody that comes on and watches us and puts in all the comments and stuff. We really do appreciate that.
We do, and I don't
know why I'm getting laughed at while I'm talking.
No, we're not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at my brother. Yes, maybe we'll get some new pictures for these.
We need new headshots.
God bless.
I can see that now.
I did it. I got an ugly mug. Like shit. I got a face for radio. Fuck.
I wasn't gonna say it, buddy.
I'll say it for you.
Well, seriously though, guys, it's been a great year. Look for plenty of bowl content and playoff content coming out. Follow us along for that. Share with your friends and all that. It really helps us out, especially on YouTube. I don't know about all that, boys. But again, thank you for the comments. We hope you had a great one. And let us know what you think about what happened in the college football playoff rankings. We'll see you.
Take it easy, everybody.
See you.